Dear students, Form 3 students, it's biology period now, and it's just the continuation on the subtopic we have started last period concerning classification, particularly in kingdom Plantae. Yeah, we have observed on the previous period, we have reviewed the main features of the plants as in general. We have learned what are the economic importance of plants. Why are we discussing these plants? We have seen that the economic importance, we have analyzed a good number of economic importances. And also, yeah, biology teacher, Form 3. My name is Jackson Suluwale. Now, let us continue our lesson for today. So that we have started this lesson the previous lesson, and we have ended. We have completed the division coniferal fighter, and I hope that we have been covered about the economical importance of plants in general. We have been covering what the coniferal fighter. We have seen that those coniferal fighter, those plants which are producing cones. We discussed also. We discussed the distinct features. Why are they classified in those particular division? And also we have seen the structure, the productive structure with the cones. We have seen the male and the female cones, their structures, how they look like. And also we have discussed what are the importance or the advantages of the conifers and the disadvantages of the conifers. And I've been given an assignment to discuss, and I hope that through your discussion in groups, you have learned a lot in the additional part of those we have discussed in the previous period. Now today let us go straight forward for the second part in the part of classification in Form 3, which is the division Angiospermaphyta. Short in the clear, when we talk about the Angiospermaphyta, it means that are those plants which they produce flowers. In other words, they are known as the flowering plants. Now we are going to discuss the flowering plants. Now, after knowing our subject of today, what are the learning objectives? What we are supposed to acquire the skills, and what we are supposed to do by the end of this lesson. From when we started up to the end, we have a few learning objectives that by the end of this lesson, when we discuss about the Angiospermaphyta, the division Angiospermaphyta, you will be able to explain the general and the features of the division Angiospermaphyta. That's very important. And also you will be able to outline the classes of the division Angiospermaphyta and their distinct features. We have discussed a little bit on the last period. That is, this Angiospermaphyta, they contains two classes, the monocotyledon and the dicotyledon classes. Now we are going in deepest to see what are their distinct features or characteristics. Why are those plants classified in one group, in one class and not another class? So that make sure that you will be interested to contribute ideas. Also, by the end of this lesson, you'll be able to describe the representative plants, the representative plants under each class. Means that which are the plants commonly representing the monocotyledon plants, and which are the plants commonly represents the dicotyledon plants. And also, by the end, after completing this lesson, you as a student, you will be able to explain or to outline to mention the advantages and the disadvantages of the division angiosperm fighter. Yeah. What is this division angiosperm fighter contains a wide variety of forms. These flowering plants, they contain a large variety of forms, but they all have common distinct features. And this group, it contains a large variety of plants. But all of these plants, they have common distinctive features. These distinctive features includes the following. Most of the plants, they have. These are small and soft plants. Usually, they are annual or perennial. They can be grouped here, even if they are in a large variety, but in some they are herbs. This includes all small plants which normally they can survive annually or perennially. Also includes the shrubs. These are small woody plants that live many years. Shrubs, these are small woody plants which live many years. Also, there is a tree. These are tall and large woody plants. They live many years. But all of these, the herbs, shrubs, and the trees, they have a common distinct features. That's why are classified or are grouped in one group, which is known as the flowering plants or angiosperm fighter. The main features is as follows. The main features, let us say those shrubs, the herbs, the trees, they have the common features. The main features include the following. All are flowering plants. All of these are producing flowers. That's known as the flowering plants. And also, the majority are terrestrial. Majority of these plants are terrestrial, means that they are found on the land, not in water. So that most of these plants are terrestrial. That is why they are sharing the common features. Also, the plants, the fertilization is proceeded by growth of the pollen tubes. These flowering plants, their fertilization, they have a trend through a pollen tube, which are found in a flower structure. So all of these flowering plants, they have a common feature, which is the pollen tube, where the fertilization or those pollen glands, they can pass for fertilization processes, so that they share the same common feature. Also, the seeds are protected by the ovary. All seeds of these plants, they are protected by the ovary. So the ovary protects the seeds. If you compare with those coniferous fighter, we discussed that the coniferous fighter seeds are not, they are naked, they are not protected by the ovary, but the seeds in the flowering plants are protected or covered by the ovary wall. After fertilization, the ovary mature. When these plants they undergo fertilization, the flower, the gametes are passing through the pollen tubes and fertility taking place. What happens means that they share in common that the ovary mature into a fruit which enclosing one or more seeds, so that the ovary part, they can be developing into a fruit, and those ovules which are found or which were found within the ovary, they can be producing they can be converted in terms of seeds, and then you can find that the ovary which produce the fruit structure, they enclose the seeds inside, either one seed or more seeds. This is also sharing in those flowering plants. That's why group is an angiosperm plant. Also, they produce asexually through vegetative propagation. A party of sexual reproduction, they can be also reproducing asexually through vegetative propagation. Means that the party part of the plant can be reproducing a new offspring or a new plant. Yeah, also they are well developed system. They have well developed system. They have well developed the root system. They have well developed the stem system. They also have well developed the leaves. There are vascular tissues of the flowering plants or the angiosperm of plants. They are flowering tissues. They contain xylem and phloem, which are present and well developed. The structure, the vascular tissue, the vascular band of this angiospermophyta or the flowering plants, the xylem and the phloem, they are well developed and well organized. Yeah, let us see what are the demerits. What are the demerits of angiospermophyta? What are the demerits of angiospermophyta? Yeah, some flowers are allergic to man. That is, pollen glands can cause like asthma. So these plants which produce flowers. Some of the flowers from these plants, they can cause allergy to man. And the pollen glands, for example, they can cause asthma to a human being. Also, some excess weed, hence hindered growth of other plants. Some of the plants are part of the goodness of these plants, but they can act as a weed, and so that they can hinder or they can prevent the growth of other plants, particularly in our chambers or in our farms. Also, the potted plants in the house compete with man for oxygen. So, let us give this idea. The potted plant, those plants which are planted in certain containers and they can keep it around the house or within the at the sitting room or at the bedding room, so that they can cause some competition of oxygen. So do not keep many flowers in the room at night. So that scientifically it is advised that don't keep the flowers in the root at night. Why? The plants at night, they cannot take photosynthesis process. They don't take photosynthesis process. Instead, respiration process is continued, so that they also need oxygen for respiration process. So that if you keep a lot of plants inside your room, inside your room during the night, you are going to suffocate, because you and the plants also you need oxygen. So please, you are advised not to put a lot of flowering plants in your bedding room, so because it can cause some suffocation. So that's not another demerits or disadvantages of plants, particularly in the potted plants in the houses, particularly within or inside the rooms. Another disadvantage or merits of the plants is some are poisonous. Some of the plants are poisonous. For instance, pyrethrum and some varieties of cassava, they are poisonous. So a part of goodness in these flowering plants, some of the plants, they are poisonous. Also, some have thorns. Some have thorns, like the cactus, like the acacia. Some have thorns that can injure human and the other animals. That's the disadvantage. So that those thorns, sharpness structure of certain parts of the plant, they can cause damage or injury to the human and the other organism. Yeah. Let us see the similarities between angiosperm and the coniferous. How are they similar? How they look alike? The similarities between the angiosperm and the conifers. Both produce seeds. conifers and the angiosperms both produce seeds. If you asked that, give the similarities of the angiosperm, those plants which they produce flowers, and those plants which they don't produce flowers, that known as the conifers. One of the similarities is that both they produce seeds, but in conifers they produce seeds which are naked, while in flowering plants they produce seeds which are enclosed inside the ovary. Yeah, both possess complex vascular bundles. They both possess complex vascular bundles. You do remember that you have seen that in the conifers they have well developed xylem and the phloem, and also in the angiosperms you have seen that they have well developed xylem and the phloem, so that both possess complex vascular bundles, but they differ in their arrangements. Both are higher plants. Both are higher plants. Those are categorized in higher plants. They can produce a large trees. They can produce a large trees, so that both they are higher plants. What are the differences between the angiosperms and the conifers? You have known that what are the main differences when you say compare? What are the main differences between the angiosperms and the conifers? Let us see the differences. One difference: angiosperms are more beautiful, hence used for decoration. We have seen that the angiosperms they produce flowers, so that flowers normally when they produce flowers, the flowers they have different colors. That some are red, some are pink, some are white. So that you can find that the flowers they have a good beautiful and have a good decorations in a certain environment compared to the conifers. Also, angiosperms have flowers while the conifers have not. The angiosperms they have flowers, but the conifers they don't have flowers. Angiosperms have fruits, while the conifers they don't have fruits. Angiosperms have covered seeds, while the conifers have naked seeds. A part of them produce seeds, but conifers they have naked seeds, while the angiosperms they have closed seeds. Yeah, the feature of angiosperm is leaves, stem, roots, and the flowers. The feature of angiosperms is the leaves, stems, root, and the flowers. Another point for difference is that nearly all angiosperms have the same structure in their future, modified according to the type of function. So nearly all the angiosperms have the same structure. Their structures look alike, have the same structure, which can be modified according to their future use. For example, let us see the flower. We have the part which is known as the sepal. Sepal is the part which protects the flower part when it is a bud. So that a sepal is a glowing part of the flower which protects the flower when they are in the bud. We have the petals. The petals are the colored part. The colored parts are often brightly colored to attract insects to pollinate the flower. So that those good, beautiful or attractive colors, they tend to attract the insect so that to pollinate the flower for fertilization. There's a part which is on the stamen, which produces the male gamete. The stamen produces the male gamete. Also we have the carpel. The carpel is the female part which produces the female gamete. The flower of angiosperms has male structure called the stamens. The flower of angiosperms they have male structure which are called the stamens. These stamens have a structure called the filaments, which support anthers which produce the pollen. So that the stamen is the main structure in the liver, in the flower, in the flower. And these have the structure. The stamen have the structure known as the filament. The filament they produce are supported with the anthers, and within the anthers is where you can find the pollen grains, which are the male gamete, with the male gamete for reproduction purpose. The female structure I've said that it's called the carpus. A carpus is composed of the following parts. It's composed by the stigma part, composed with the style part, and composed with the ovary. And the ovules are formed inside the ovary. In angiosperms, the ovules, which you can say the female garment, are produced inside the ovary. And once the carpus has been pollinated and the ovules present successful fertilizer, the ovary becomes a fruit and the ovum becomes the seed. When those ovules are fertilized successfully, those ovules which are fertilized successfully, it means that they can be converted into seeds, while the ovary can be converted in terms of fruit. Yeah, let us see the distinct features of the angiosperms. Distinct features, peculiar structures or features which classify or let's see those plants to be grouped or classified into the angiosperm. One, the reproductive structure are flowers. Why are these plants or those plants classified as angiosperms? Because their reproductive structure are flowers. That is point number one. And these flowers, some of the flowers are not bisexual flowers. Bisexual flowers are those flowers when anthers and the carpels are found in the same flower. Bisexual flower are those plants, those flowers in the plants which have anthers and the carpels. Means that the male part and the female part are found in the same flower. An example is the Lonix plant. We have also unisexual flower. This kind of flower, they produce male flower that can be release pollen, and a female flower that produce ovule in a different part. For example, a maize. The tassel of the maize, the tassel part of the maize, those are the part where the pollens are produced. While the style, the lower part of the plant, the style, the style or the stigmas, those are the female parts. So that I can find that the flowers, each flower producing only one type of the gamete for reproduction. Those is known as the unisexual flowers. Another distinct features that is the ovules are enclosed in an ovary, and hence the seed are enclosed in the fruit. In angiosperms, the ovules are enclosed in the ovary, and when they are fertilized, it means that the ovules becomes a seed, and this seeds enclosed in the fruit. This is why these behaviors or characteristics, let's see why these plants can be categorized, can be included or grouped into in angiosperm group. Another distinct features is that angiosperms vary greatly in form, size, and habitat. That is, angiosperms vary greatly in form, size, and habitat. And also, they can be wood, e.g. cotton tree, non-wood, like a maize plant. Some are very small, such as groundnuts plants. They are very short and small, while others are very large, such as bulbous trees. You know bulbous trees? So this also leads into the distinction of the plants classifying in this angiosperm class. Also, another distinct features is that they occur in wide range of terrestrial, means that on the land, and the aquatic, usually freshwater habitats, so that they occupy a large range of surviving areas. Most of them are terrestrial, and most of them are aquatic, means that they live in water, so that they provide those distinct features of this specific group, which is known as the angiosperms or the angiospermophyta plants. Now let us see what are the advantages of angiosperms or angiospermophyta. Are they having some advantages, as we have seen in the last division? That's the conifer family. What are the advantages of these angiosperms when you compare with those coniferophytes? Yes, one, angiosperms are used for timber. They are used for timber. Those timbers which are used for building construction, most of them we obtain from the angiosperms plants. Those plants which they produce flowers. They have seen that the conifers, most of them we get those telephone poles and electricity poles, but most of the timbers we use building our offices or building our houses. They are produced from the angiosperms plants. Also, the angiosperms are used as a source of charcoal and the wood. The charcoal which you are using at home and the wood which you are using at home for construction of buildings or any other structures at home, they are produced from the angiosperm, those plants which they have flowering plants. And also are used for manufacturing papers. They are used for manufacturing papers. They can be used for manufacturing papers, the papers which are the raw materials which are used in our different activities in schools, at homes, or in offices, in stationaries, so that most of the products are coming from the angiosperms, that is the flowering plants. Some angiosperms provide medicine. Some of angiosperms, they have advantage in producing angiosperm and producing medicines. For example, neem trees, or foxy, glossy, they are commonly producing the medicine. Some flowering plants are used for decoration. Some of flowering plants are used for decoration because they produce beautiful flowers in different colors, so that you can find most of the flowering plants, they are used for decoration. Angiosperms can be used in production of certain industrial chemicals, plastics, rubbers, and tannins. And also, angiospermophyta can be good source of organic manure for production of crops and when they decay. Those plants, the different plants, when they decay, they become a good manure. That's it, they decompose and then they can be converted into manure for good production of the crops in our farms. Also, are used for manufacturing resins. They are used for manufacturing resins. So those are the goodness or advantages of the angiosperms. What are the disadvantages of angiosperms? Some of the flowering plants may be allergic to man, as I've seen it before. Some of the flowering plants, they are almost allergic, causes allergic to man. For example, some of the pollen glands, they can cause asthma to the human beings. So that those are the disadvantages. Another disadvantage of the flowering plants, the potted plants in the houses compete with the man to oxygen. We have already discussed that. Sometimes in other times, particularly during the night, the plants which are potted and placed in a bedroom, they can cause some competition of oxygen, so that's suffocation. So that those are the disadvantages of the flowering plants. They can cause suffocation, particularly when they are placed together with the human beings during the night at the same room. Also, some of the plants are poisonous to man. Yeah, some of the poisonous plants, flowering plants, they are poisonous to the man. For example, the cassava. Some varieties of cassava, they are poison to man. So that is disadvantage number 3. Now let us pass through about those 2 categories of angiospermophyta plants. Those plants which are producing flowers. We have said that we have 2 groups. which are known as the classes. The classes, according to a level, you are supposed to classify the organism from the kingdom, the division, and you end with the classes, so that it's important to understand this class, the level of classification is known as the class, so that in this division and so on, we have two classes. There are two classes I've said. One class is the monocotyledon class, the second is the dicotyledon class. Now let us see what the monocotyledon plants. Monocotyledon plants, monocotyledons is one classes of the division Angiospermophyta. The second is the dicotyledon. Let us pass through about the monocotyledon. Monocotyledon are those plants which they produce the seeds which having one cotyledon or one seed. Something only one seed or one cotyledon. And a good example is the maize. A good example is the maize. Maize plant is the good example. A maize plant or maize seeds is a good example of monocotyledon because their seeds they contain the seed which having one cotyledon. Other examples of the monocotyledon plants, it includes the coconut, the millet, finger millet, palms, etc., etc. So those are examples of the monocotyledons, the seeds which contains one cotyledon. The second class is the dicotyledon plants. These dicotyledons are those plants which produce seeds having two seeds or having two cotyledons. Having two seeds or having two cotyledons. A bean seed or groundnut seed is a good example of dicotyledons, where the seeds they contain two cotyledons. Other examples includes the castor seed, oil, the mango, the hibiscus plants. So those are those examples. That means that the main ideas is that the dicotyledons, that the seeds which are produced, we see that from the ovules can be producing, it should contain two cotyledons. The mono having only one cotyledon. Now see the structure here. You can see the structure here. You can see the structure of those what we're discussing. We have the dicotyledon, like a seed. You can see here the dicotyledons that you have this one cotyledon, another cotyledon here. This is the dicotyledon. And also the monocotyledon, like the maize, the corn is the maize, monocotyledon, so that they have only one cotyledon. Other parts is similar. Means both seeds they have apical, they have hypocal, they have a radical, they have a cotyledon, and also they have the seed coat. The mono means that one cotyledon. This you can see that this is one cotyledon. This is one cotyledon. That's me having one cotyledon. We have said that di means that two cotyledons. So that this you can see that this is one cotyledon. This is the second cotyledon, means that two. The meaning that dicotyledon. So that you have to remember those. These are Now let us continue. Let us see the distinct features of the monocotyledons. What are the many distinct features of the monocotyledons? One, their seeds have one cotyledon. You have seen here in the diagram. That the monocotyledons, they have one seed cotyledon. Another is that the vascular bundle of the stem are scattered. You can see later that the vascular bundle of the stem are scattered. Also, the petals are arranged in groups of leaves. The petals are arranged in terms of group of petals. Also, the leaves have veins running parallel to one another. That the leaves have parallel veins running parallel to each other. Also, mostly have fibrous root system. Most of the monocotyledons, they have fibrous root systems, that they have small root system which is just spreading randomly. Also, now let us see the features of the dicotyledons. Dicotyledons, they have two cotyledons, as you have seen in the diagram. Have two seeds, or have two parts of the seeds. Another is that the vascular bundle of the stem and the root are arranged regularly. In a mono, the vascular bundle are arranged randomly, while in dicotyledon, the vascular bundles are arranged regularly. You can see later on in the diagram. The petals are arranged mostly in a group of 5 or more. Their petals are arranged in groups of 5 or more. You can see later on. The leaves have veins arranged in a branch network. That you say that net venation. That they are seeds. The seeds of the dicotyledons, they are arranged in a network or net venation. Also, mostly have taproot system. Mostly of the dicotyledons, they have taproot system. Difference between monocotyledons and the dicotyledons. Now you can see the diagrams here. The diagrams, please observe here. I think it is clear. We have a column of monocotyledons and we have the column of dicotyledons. That's it. The monocotyledons have fibrous roots. You can see that this is the fibrous roots we have been talking about, the fibrous roots. While the dicotyledons have the taproot. This is the main root, the taproot. So that this is the difference, the taproot. The taproot. Also, we have talked about the leaves. The leaves in monocotyledons, they have parallel venations. You can see that here there's parallel venations. While the leaves on the dicotyledons, they have a net venation. This is a parallel venation, while this one is the net. Means that the structure looks as a net. It looks like that, so that you can differentiate. Okay, this leaves, this is you can identify. This is monocot because they are their veins are parallel. This is dicot because they are okay. They are net venation. Okay, they are what? The lines are in net venation. Yeah. Also, we have seen. Let us see another structures. Yeah, we have talked about the flowers. Now see here, we have said that in the monocotyledons, their flowers, the flowers are 3 or multiple 3. You can see that this is 1, 2, 3. And the sepals also have said the sepals are 3. That's 1, 2, 3. You can see here in the diagram. So that we have 2, we have 3 parts, those petals, all multiple. While in dicotyledon, see here, dicotyledon, it is the 5. We have seen that in the flowers, that the monocotyledon flower, they have 3. They have 3 petals part. This is, you can see that here 1. This is 3. 2. This is 3. So either 3. If you see, you observe the flower which contains the 3 petals as a part of the flower, or multiple, means that double, either 3. Means that here 3, 6, 9. You know that this type of the flower is from the monocotyledon flower. The monocotyledon plants. In case of the dicotyledons, the floral parts, they have part of 4 or 5, or multiple of 4 or 5. So that what we talk about is this is the floral parts. The floral parts, we have seen this one, this is the petal 1. This is 2, this is 3, 4, 5. Also, the sepals, you have this 1 sepal, 2, 3, 4, 5. So either 5 or multiple 5. Let me say multiple 5 means that 10. So when you see, particularly in the plateaus, when you connect plateau, you observe the features, observe it, so that you can, because they have 4 or 5, or this flower, because they have 5 floral parts, this is automatically is a dicotyledon plant. Yeah. Let us go to the difference number 4. That is the monocotyledons, so that they have vascular bundles which are scattered in the stem. This structure shows that the stems, This is the stem of the monocotyledon, and this is the stem of the dicotyledon. So that the vascular bundle in the monocoty stem, they are scattered in the stem. So you can see here, this is the colored one. This is the colored one in the vascular bundle. So that you can see that they are scattered. They are scattered all over the stem. They are scattered all over the stem. Yeah. In the dicotyledon, the vascular bundle is formed in a ring form. You can see here, this is the dicoty stem. You can see here, these are the vascular bundles. They are arranged in a ring form. They are arranged in a ring form. This is a ring form. They are in a ring form compared to this one which is scattered. So that this is arranged in a ring form. A ring form. So that you can see the difference. You can differentiate between the monocotyledon vascular bundle in the stem and the dicotyledon vascular bundle, which can be appeared in the dicotyledon stem. Yeah. So I remember, dear students, you have enjoyed the subject. We have discussed about the division of angiosperm fighter. We have seen that why are known as angiosperm fighter. One of the distinct character, they contain flowers. They are sometimes known in the flowering plants. So we have observed what are the economic importance of this angiosperm fighter. We have also discussed. And finally, we have discussed the differences between the monocoty and the dicoty. And they have seen how they differs. So I would like to thank you for your listening. Now, before we close our lesson, please jot down the exercise which you see, the exercise review, and then discuss in our groups so that you can acquire the skills which will be enable you to explain yourself. Thank you very much. Our topic have been ended on classification. Hoping that you'll be enjoying next period to start a new topic. Thank you very much. You are with me, Mwalimu Jackson Suruale, a biology teacher.
Enlab Innovation Academy inatangaza nafasi za masomo ya Information Technology kwa ngazi ya certificate na diploma kwa wanafunzi waliomaliza kidato cha 4, kidato cha 6 na chuo NTA Level 3. Chuo kipo Kinondoni Vijana jijini Dar es Salaam. Zaidi ya kusoma, mwanafunzi anapewa nafasi ya kuanzisha mradi wa kiteknolojia pamoja na kupatiwa mentor wa kumwongoza. Pia tunamsaidia mwanafunzi kutafuta scholarships pale anapohitimu. Tupigie leo 0677 071 486 au 0744 100 231 au tembelea tovuti yetu www.nia.ac.tz.